Liberal world order has been shattered into a million tiny pieces by the election of a triumphant nationalist leader of Poland endorsed by Donald J. Trump. Long live Poland, long live the United States, long live the friendship between Poland and the United States of America.
A nationalist candidate backed by Donald Trump, Karol Nawrocki, has won Poland's presidential election in a neck-and-neck race. Bloomberg's Oliver Kirk joins us now from the capital, Warsaw. So this was a candidate who was actually backed by President Trump.
So shows you sort of how interested the Trump administration is in sort of pushing these right-wing candidates and creating more sort of disharmony within the EU at a time when the sort of EU unity is being tested in a radical way as it's dealing with this trade war. And this, again, will send another signal that, that potentially you don't have quite as much support as Brussels would like to see at this time.
Poland will be turning towards a more conservative right-wing politics rather than cementing its place in the European mainstream with strong relations with Germany and France.
As far as the sort of Europeans are concerned, this also has sort of large implications at a time when the EU is sort of waging trade war against the United States, and having a candidate that is very sort of EU skeptical, stepping away from some of the initiatives of the sort of pro-European, pro-Brussels initiative is something that's going to resonate far beyond the borders of Poland.
What more can you tell us about Mr. Nawrocki? He's 42 years old. We've said he's an historian. What else can you add for us, Adam?
He's an historian because he's the head of the state National Remembrance Commission, which investigates communist era and also World War II era crimes. Is a traditional conservative Roman Catholic. He believes in strong sovereign Poland within the EU. He supports continued assistance to Ukraine, but unlike Mr. Trzaskowski, he doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO or the EU. He's also a big fan of President Trump. He flew during the campaign for basically a thumbs-up photograph in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. Didn't do much more in terms of a meeting because he thought that would improve his chances.
But of course, you had the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary here in Poland just days after the first round of the election.
If you had elected a leader that will work with President Donald J. Trump, the Polish people will have an ally strong that will ensure that you will be able to fight off enemies that do not share your values. You will have strong borders and protect your communities and keep them safe and ensure that your citizens are respected every single day. You will continue to have a U.S. presence here, a military presence, Fort Trump, that we can work together for the security of both of our nations. And you will have equipment that is American-made, that is high quality.
This is another sort of example that we've seen of the MAGA movement, the Trump administration, coming in to domestic European politics and effectively endorsing a candidate.
And so those sort of issues, anti-woke issues, freedom of speech issues.
Adam?
In fact, Donald Trump's...
Adam, can I just jump in really quickly? He campaigned under the slogan, Poland first, Poles first. How is that likely to be regarded with the EU? What sort of relationship could he have?
He'll be much more pushy in terms of his relationship with Brussels, in terms of insisting on Poland following what he believes it's in his national interests. He doesn't want to cede any additional powers to Brussels. He'll be very tough on migration, but there again, the Prime Minister Donald Tusk has been very tough on migration, and that's becoming the European mainstream anyway.
Kiko the Fox. So the Nationalistic Party won in Poland as the polls been reversed from exist polls, making Karol Nawrocki win the election, making him the new president of the country. Well done, all citizens of Poland. You've all elected a criminal. I see no hope for my country as it gets drawn to the far right. For a second, I thought it was going to be a chance. Things are going to get better for people like me, but not. Things are just starting to get worse. Not gonna be surprised if Poland now leaves EU or gets kicked out. I'm just done. Thanks to people of Poland, 5 years of hell starting now. Personally, I give up with people on this world. I want to hurt myself. Congrats to the winner. Don't be literally steal a dude's house and use drugs on a debate. Yes, cries in your arms. Troy Wokeness says, cry more. Thanks. Oh my, another nationalist leader. Yeah, people prefer people that rob, take drugs, rob the country for money and investments, than protecting the minorities and a person that actually want to do good, improve things, protect everyone. What is this world? That's amazing news against EU totalitarianism. Hurting yourself helps nothing in your situation. You should now be looking for ways to resist the new government and promote the things you would like to see happen in Poland. I'm sorry. You should move out of Poland, just like when my fellow liberals moved out of the U.S. after Trump got elected. Have you thought about immigrating to Canada or another pro-globalist Western nation? Thankfully, I don't live in Poland, but in the UK. Not any better, soon turning far right too slowly. I was just hoping for things to get better so I can return home one day, but life says that won't happen. You should leave the UK soon. Their top court said a woman is defined as a biological woman, and Farage might win in the next election. Move to Canada, free health care, no guns, hate speech laws, euthanasia, and some of the places are nice. Vancouver. If only it was that easy, though. Bridges are free anyways. Ha 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 ha. Poland lost today, woke up to the far right winning presidential elections. Instead of the EU, we chose nationalism. Instead of educated candidate, we chose a man who was a football hooligan. I'm gonna be sick. Breaking character to say that the national Polish elections have just been won by an anti-immigration Trumpy hooligan who used to get into fights with people who are fans of other football team on the first day of Pride. And the right wing won again. Really sad to see the whole nation vote for an idiot with a very questionable past. Polish mentality will unfortunately never change. The whole nation is driven by hate. I don't even want to get up today. I'm so disappointed.
The president is obviously pleased to see the result of the Polish elections. He met with Karol Nawrocki, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yes, Nawrocki. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your insight on that. He met with him at the White House, and he told them, you're going to win because you support common sense. And he supported strong borders in Poland. He supported an end to the woke, radical DEI stuff that we've seen not just here in the United States, but really take over Europe and, frankly, the whole world. He was very outspoken about that. And I was reading the reports about how the Polish people felt about this man, and they felt like he was putting the needs of Poland first. And that's a very refreshing feeling, one that we know very well here in the United States of America. So, as you know, the United States and Poland have always had a very deep and strong relationship, friendship. They're a great ally, and I know the president continues to look forward to working with them.
Look at them two nationalist, proud leaders of two strong nationalist countries, the United States and Poland. The new president of Poland says, "Thank you, Mr. President. Strong alliance with the USA, as well as partnership based on close cooperation, are my top priorities." Donald Trump said, "Trump ally wins in Poland. Shocking all in Europe." Newsmax. Congratulations, Poland. You picked a winner.
Political analyst Jacek Kucharczyk says the surprise parliamentary defeat of Nawrocki's Law and Justice Party in 2023 after 8 years of governing Poland was cathartic for many liberals in Europe who feared rising populism and nationalism in the country. But now with this presidential victory for Law and Justice, he says it's clear that many Polish voters are still worried about creeping liberalism, watering down what they see as their national identity, a fear that is at play in elections throughout the world, he says.
Fear of migrants and fear that the society will change, the conviction that liberalized societies of Western Europe have made a mistake mainly by, introducing multiculturalism and so on and so forth.
Kuharczyk says many Poles who voted for Nawrocki were likely inspired by the victory of U.S. President Donald Trump.